What's up, guys? We have another patch here today that I'll go over. There's not a whole lot to it, so it'll probably be a fairly short video. So let's just jump right into it. Free hero of the week is the Runaway, so as always, if you guys are interested in that, you can get a nice bling discount on the Runaway. Although I'm not sure, is the Runaway actually purchasable with blings, or you have to purchase it with one of those packs in the store? I don't know. She might have came out of early access and I just didn't notice. Um, Last week they introduced the 60% increase in material drop rate. I noticed it maybe a little bit, but for the most part, I haven't really noticed this drop rate increase. Either way, it's going to maintain itself for this week, so basically everybody who is trying to get materials and farming them up, there's still a 60% increase, so definitely try to get, if you have the time, available to you, get your farming in this week instead of next week. The new content, Acid Cannon, went away. We have the new Super Trap Generator. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. For balancing this week, there's not really, this isn't really even a balance change, it's just they fixed it so that Vortex Rift actually aggroes creatures. So I would say that was more of a bug fix than anything. And then totems now restore their health to full when leashing is activated. So whenever you start the leashing process, it'll also go to full along with all the creatures. This is actually kind of good because if you didn't have something blocking like from a headshot or from a really long range ability, you could slowly pick away at the totem and actually kill it without having anything leash, basically. So that's one good thing about this, is that it prevents that, so that's always good. Although I'm not sure if you attack the totem, does it aggro the creatures? If you only damage the totem and nothing else. I'm not 100% sure, because if it doesn't, then the totem, it would never actually activate its leashing thing, right? So I'm not 100% sure how that works, but I think it should aggro the creatures if you attack the totem. A little bit more changes on the tutorial. I'm not really going to go over those. There's nothing too crazy going on, I'm sure. The Acid Cannon got some visual improvements for the most part. That's the only thing that really changed with that. I haven't seen them a whole lot in castles, but they're pretty good. They're better than ballistic cannons. They deal more damage, and they have the lower the person's armor by 25%. I did notice last week I was unsure about Corrosive Mines and Acid Cannon if they were the exact same debuff. Corrosive Mines I think is a 50% decrease, and Acid Cannon is only 25%. So it's a little bit less, but the Acid Cannon has way more damage associated to it. So, alright, we will go back to news and go to the new Super Trap Generator. So, for me personally, these are not terrible costs because I have a lot of love anyway. I farmed up a bunch of that when I was trying to get number 42, so I can afford like 5 of these things already. I have only one at the moment because I haven't rebuilt my castle, or I haven't had any real need to build these, but I will be going for pretty much as many of them as I possibly can. So basically, the whole thing with this is it's just a straight upgrade to the normal power generator. So if you're not buying these, you should be. Like, they're probably one of the better things that came out. It's twice the power, but there's no defense cost associated to it. So if you get 5 of these things, so that means you can get rid of effectively 10 of the other ones because it's double the power. You basically open yourself up an extra 20 points that you could use for an entire extra group in your castle. So it's pretty important to have these things. If you don't have enough materials, try to farm up a little bit. I would say like a minimum you want at least 3 of these in your castle, and probably upwards of 8 would be around the maximum. I'm probably going to get around 5 of them, maybe 6 if I can farm up enough. I'm not sure. I think I have enough love to buy 6 total, but I would be out of them, I believe. I'm not even sure if I have enough of the other ones to be able to get that much, but I have like, I don't know, 12 or 13 love, maybe more, but almost no number 42s. So yeah, let's jump into my castle. I'll just take a quick look at how the trap actually functions, but for the most part it's very straightforward. So you can see it here. It's kind of visually updated. You can see it's got 24 power instead of the standard 12. You can see a couple of my acid cannons here. I can jump into the castle, I guess, and just show off how it looks, but for the most part there's not really anything to test, nothing to really show. So I will quickly just jump into it, and I'll do it with my archer just so I don't die too quickly. My mage still doesn't have gear, but I did manage to get it up to level 30, so that's good. I did that when I was farming up my materials for the acid cannons. Was able to go through a bunch of castles and level up. You also notice, I spoke about it last time, but I dropped my crowns down specifically so that I would get weaker castles, because weaker castles make it quicker to go through, right? So I can talk about that a little bit while I'm going through and showing this. But basically, crowns are effectively your matchmake rating. There's a matchmaking system in this game, and basically, if you have like 1,200 crowns, it's going to try to give you people that are roughly around like 800 to 1,600 crowns, right? It's going to try to give you higher crown counts, which means stronger defenses for the most part. When it comes to like having a lower crown count, it's going to give you all the farms, it's going to give you all the people who have chickenpox creatures and stuff like that, right? So it's going to be way quicker to get through castles that are chickenpoxed than it is going to be to get through normal castles like my castle, or like other people who have been actively playing the game for a while and have released challenging castles. So if you get through quicker, every castle pretty much drops somewhere between 6 and 8 materials. So if you can do castles more often and more quickly, then you'll just overall farm more materials. So that was my idea and my thought process with that. So that's what I was doing. It's just trying to get quicker castles overall and farm up a little bit. So I managed to get a couple of these things. I think I have 3 or 4 of these acid cannons, so that's pretty good. And again, I said I'm going to try to get at least 5 or 6 of these things because they're really good. Even if you only use 12 of the defense points associated to them, even if you do, it's still really good to have the no defense cost. Like, that's really important. Even if these things, like, they could have made it 12 defense points and 0 cost, or 2 cost and 24 defense points, and they would still be worthwhile to use. So the fact that it's both of these things going on with this makes it a really, really good investment. It's really, really strong. So it's definitely something you should try to get while you can. I'm assuming at some point they're going to start recycling these, and we'll see the Devlin pop back up, and caustic carpets, and hot rollers, and charged oils, and all of these things start popping back up again. I'm actually kind of surprised that they haven't started doing that. I didn't really expect them to have this many things lined up, and I don't really know what they're going to be doing. Like, a lot of these things, you saw pictures for these a long time ago. Like this, I remember seeing this this statue-looking thing a really, really long time ago. Like, I don't know if it was closed beta or if it was after open beta, but it was a couple months before this thing actually came out that I was seeing this pop up, and they probably didn't know what to do with it at the point that they released the artwork to the client. Basically, is what happened, is that they patched in the artwork for it, but they didn't actually have it in the game, so people went through and like dissected it and tried to find little pictures and stuff like that. And so that's why a lot of people knew what was coming beforehand, but currently we don't really have any artwork. We don't have anything that we're working off of, so I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing with the next Most Wanted. I have to assume that they're going to recycle soon, because I think they have like 3 months worth of Most Wanted stuff, and if they cycled just once through, they'd have so much development time to actually go through and make new ones and whatever else they want to do. So I'm assuming that they're going to be doing that fairly soon. So for people who don't have a lot of Devlins, who don't have a lot of caustic carpets, who don't have a lot of hot rollers, me personally, I want more caustic carpets, I want more hot rollers. That's the main thing that I want. I have enough Devlin, and I think I have almost everything I want. I want more charge glows, actually. I want a lot more of these things. I'm thinking of some sort of like a tunnel type thing with charge glows and like things that slow you down, like slow mines and jelly walls. To be honest, the dream would be charge gloils plus jelly walls, the old jelly walls that actually stayed on the ground. That would be so good, because every time this ticks damage and you have a slow effect besides the charge oil, it basically gives you a mini stun. So anytime you're inside of that, it would be just like almost permanently stunned. It would be great. But yeah, that's pretty much it for these patch notes. There wasn't a whole lot there, and there's not a whole lot to talk about with this trap generator other than get it. I mean, it's really good. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.